I took my mum all the way here to Machu Picchu on the most difficult and the most beautiful trek to see how difficult it really is. The 5-day Salkantay Trek through the mountains to this lost Incan city that's over 600 years old. Good morning and welcome to the most difficult way to get to Machu Picchu. We are doing the 5-day Salkantay Trek and it is day number 1 currently. In order to get to this incredible backdrop, it required a 4-hour drive out of the town in Cusco once we met up with our group from Alpaca Expeditions. Made the 4-hour journey and just before sundown had to do a little 10-minute trek to get to the camp where we stayed for the night. And the first night we managed to get a bed, which isn't going to be a luxury we have going forwards because we will be in tents after that. Had a nice dinner, a nice breakfast, and was asleep by 9 because we had to be up at 4 AM this morning in order to get our coca teas down us before the hiking started today. As you already know, I've forced my mum to join me for the final stint of this trip, so she's going to be taking on the hardest trek to Machu Picchu, and the first part of that was a sheer hour and 10-minute uphill grind at 4,500 meters elevation in order to get to this incredible lake, Humantay Lake, which is our first viewpoint. We're just going to spend half an hour here and then start to make our way back down again to make our progress over the Salkantay Trail. And I must say, Mum's doing pretty well. This is going to be the most challenging day of the lot because we've had that hour and 10 minutes uphill and then we go back down and then we've got to go up another sheer uphill, which is even harder. And because we're at such high altitude and my mum's flown directly from the UK, she's had 4 days in Cusco to acclimatise, which isn't enough to get you fully acclimatised to pumping the blood around your body at this altitude, but she's done well and she's just making it up to the lake now to enjoy the view. Made our way back down now, so that's the first mini trek complete, and we've got to go through that valley to get to the Salkantay Pass. How are you feeling, Mum?
I'm all right now.
You're all right now? Now it's over.
Oh, possibly.
The easy downhill was easy.
Yes, the first half was hard.
Here comes the tortoise.
Same again. Now, ready for that?
No way. Please don't.
It is the same again.
No, not up.
Yeah.
No, please.
Yeah, it is. You can do it. If you can do that, you can do this. We've got time as well. Fist bump. The whole group is now moving well and feeling good, and we're about to do our second incline up to the highest point of the day, which is around 4,600 meters. But before that, we're going to reach our lunch spot, and clearly we've been blessed by the weather as well. You never know what happens in the mountains, obviously, but today's obviously our day, so it's a nice welcome surprise to get all the good scenery. So we've got to push for 2-ish hours now until lunch. And we've made it to our first, a bit muddy, our first rest stop of the day. This is where we would have had lunch if the weather was bad, but because the weather is good, we get to keep going, and we've got the beautiful Salkantay staring us down the entire time, and we're just waiting now, having a chill before the rest of the group turns up. Have a look at that. Beautiful. It's nice being acclimatized as well. If you do take on Salkantay for yourself, most of this group have flown in literally 2 days before, but are faring extremely well. Because I've been here for a month, it does make things much easier. So anything you can do to get some higher altitude practice in always pays dividends. So let's have a little snack and then we keep going. Hello there, feeling good, nearly at lunch, probably in the region of, I have no idea, maybe 30 minutes away. I've managed to acquire Mum's backpack, which is very fair. She's doing well. legs are tired, air is thin, but without the backpack she's pushing on nicely. We are doing well. This is a very tough trek. And we are now at the highest point after another 45 minutes post lunch at 4,600 meters above sea level. This is the highest point in the Salkantay Pass, and you can see obviously we've had amazing weather all day, but the clouds just coming in now on Salkantay Peak, so there's not much to see in this direction, but we're going to peer over now and have a little rest before we start the 2-hour descent down to camp for the evening. I look a bit like Eminem, I reckon. Tiring day, to be honest. Pretty tiring in the end. It's now 3:30 p.m. and we are a whisker away from our camp for the evening, but incredible scenery. And we've obviously traversed all of the Salkantay mountain now, which is hidden behind in the clouds. So I'll see you for dinner. Absolutely perfect weather this morning as we woke up to crisp blue skies, and when I say crisp I mean it. It was absolutely freezing last night, full layers on in the sleeping bag. It stayed warm like that, but yeah, I don't think I've camped anywhere colder than that. Even in England in the winter wasn't that cold, but we had a quick breakfast and cocoa tea in the morning and then got out of camp at 6:10 a.m. and made our way downhill. It's all downhill today because of all of that uphill traversing we did yesterday. We ended up sleeping at just shy of 4,000 meters, and we're going down 1,000 or so today in order to get to our camp for the night. And by going down, it means it gets warmer, but it gets mosquito-ier as well. Just about making our way into mosquito territory now, and obviously in just a t-shirt again. But nice clear path this time. Instead of being up near the glaciers where there were loads of rocks all over the floor, it's a nice clear path that we're walking down. It's now 9:15 a.m. We're in the region of an hour and 45 away from lunch, which is pretty cool. And today, to look forward to, a jacuzzi at our campsite, apparently. So at least we've definitely got showers. There's been no showers so far, even since we arrived on day one. But it's been so cold that it hasn't mattered too much. But now we're getting to a jacuzzi and a shower and a bed as well, not a tent tonight, even though we had a tent last night. So pretty cool. And Mum is smashing it. She said yesterday that it was the hardest thing she's ever done. I said hardest thing in a while. She said yeah, probably ever. And but she got through it. Didn't use a horse at any point, even though that is a backup strategy if you are unfit and you need that support to get to the top and there's no way you can do it on your feet. A couple of people in the group managed to take advantage of that, which keeps them fresh for the later days. But today she's hurling herself downhill. I think she's just slightly behind me now, absolutely smashing it. So many mules and horses. So the way, we only have 2 porters. Here you go, here's the horses coming past. We have 3 horsemen for our huge group of about 14 people, and we have 2 Buenos dias. 2 porters as well, carrying like 25 kilos on their backs and helping the chef prepare the food and stuff. So very few staff, only 6 staff in total for like 14 clients, which is pretty impressive, the use of that horsepower. Right, I think we're going around that way. Big canyon underneath me now. We're going around that way and then we should get to a little rest spot. now made it to the lunch spot after a very intense morning, trying to sort this hammock out, and got about 25 minutes of chilling here before lunch will be ready. Necessary, very necessary. Yeah. A big rest and a big feed later, and we are done with lunch and back on the road for the final 3-ish hours now to get to this aforementioned jacuzzi. Where's our guide? There he is. Ready?
Yes.
Ready?
Feeling good?
Yes.
Looking strong, guys. Getting your tan on?
Yeah, I can't come home pale.
Yeah. Good idea. Just past this big waterfall, and we've got about an hour left now until we reach our evening camp. Taking a little detour now with Jimmy and Johan because they've got a special surprise for me. And the surprise is getting to see the way the native Andean mountain people cross over these deep canyons using this steel cable car with 0 sides and 0 clips. You've got to hang on tight and pull yourself across. What a fantastic experience to be able to see one of those in use. And now I'm out of breath, as you can see, because I had to go quite far down there, and now I'm pushing along to catch up with the rest of the group. At the end of a very long second day, almost 20 kilometers, it's time for you to meet our fantastic guide, Jimmy. How are you doing, brother?
Hello, my friends.
One of the best guides in Alpaca, 6 years now?
6 years, yes.
6 years. And the campsite's just down there. 20 kilometers today?
Yes, brother.
And first thing tomorrow is Machu Picchu from a distance, right?
Yeah, yes, from the top. From the top of this amazing mountain called Tapata, you're gonna see Machu Picchu far away.
Amazing.
Yes,
and that's an old Inca trail up to the
original Inca trail, brother.
Perfect. And you promised us a jacuzzi in this place. I hope it's true.
No, jacuzzi. Jacuzzi must be ready now.
Nice, let's find out.
Yes, amigos.
Not bad at all. Check out this little hobbit house. I've already made a mess on that bed. And this is what we step out to. The wild. And there's loads of these little fake grass roof hobbit houses, which is where we're all staying. And we have tengo solo uno oportunidad para jacuzzi. So I'm gonna get in the jacuzzi now and let these old dogs, these dirty dogs, relax. And my feet are so sore. It's a lot of walking. That shower is freezing, but not complaining. It was welcome. Sometimes I actually wanted a hot shower and I had the cold and I was like, that's way better. Sometimes it's good not to have the choice. Jacuzzi time. Have you been in?
I've not been.
You're not going to do it?
I'm going to.
You look pretty fresh. Have you showered?
No.
No.
It's the cowboy hat.
Yeah, it must be. Hey. This is where everyone is, huh? This is what you meant by your jacuzzi, yeah? You've been here the whole time?
King of the town.
Close my eye.
Yeah, I know.
So we've had about an hour of morning walk now, and we've made our way into the first village of the whole trip, which we are going to be apparently doing some kind of coffee investigation. I think we're going to be making coffee and drinking coffee here for a couple of hours, a nice cultural stop before we've got a 3-hour uphill ascent to our actual first sighting of Machu Picchu. So we're not going to be on the main archaeological site complex, but we're going to be able to see it from afar for the first time this afternoon. which is super exciting. So the gang are just trekking through this village now. Had to say hello to a load of dogs and pigs and roosters, and now we're gonna land very shortly at this coffee stop. We finally arrived at this farm in the Andes at around mid-morning and were instantly ushered down to the trees to get on with some manual labour once again, the task of picking all of the ripe coffee beans from the trees. We must have collected around 500 beans as a group, selecting the correct ones and sometimes having to pull the branch all the way down to reach the ripe ones. And then we put them all in a bucket and then fast forwarded to step 2, which was to get these beans out of their shells. And this tool does exactly that. It doesn't crush the beans, it just simply grinds the shell off and discards the shell while the beans go into a bucket. And there's 2 individual beans inside one casing, which I didn't know until doing this. There you go, the things you learn while making coffee. The beans then needed to be left in water for around 24 hours to ferment and then dried for a further 4 days in the sun. After that's completed, well, for obvious reasons, we skipped ahead to some beans that were dried in advance, and then it is roasting time. So they go in a pan over the fire, and it's at this point that you can flavor the beans to give them whatever certain coffee taste you want. And if you just want regular roast, then obviously you keep stirring the beans like this, which takes about 20 minutes, and they smell super intense and flavorful at this point. And so now it's the final step before we drink them, which is to grind them down with this old machine to make a fine powder that you, of course, as you know, can mix with boiling water to make your delicious coffee. So a big cheers all round with a pre-lunch coffee for all our hard work. And then the boss lady's daughter showed us her pet chicks, which you can see she was extremely fond of. And then, you guessed it, back to work. This is not easy. Everyone's pushing quite hard. Johan, the guide, giving it the big one. Had a big lunch. A very good lunch, but a big lunch. So I'm not exactly rocket fuel up this, but it's one of the nicest paths we've taken. An original Inca trail. I'll show you a cool view in a second. Check this out. And a steep uphill climb for another hour or so to get to the viewpoint where we're gonna see Machu Picchu. Let's get it. Not so easy, is it?
No, sir.
Jeez.
All that can be said.
Oh. Chicken, give me the side step. We've reached look at that. Reached a little casita.
Woo!
And we're gonna wait for the group here. Oh, probably the hardest day for me, to be honest, because of the heat. Day one, even at the altitude, was all right compared to slogging it up this. You can see the river in the canyon down there. I'm gonna buy some stuff to make myself feel better. Buy some Gatorade or something.
You got heavy food.
The only thing to do when you reach a rest stop is to get everyone doing pull-ups. Nice.
5, 6, 7, 8.
Extra strength from having your shirt off, obviously. Nice. That's 8. Nice. Hey.
Okay, here we go. All right, 303.
With your hand thing, look.
How many?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Who's got the Moby song? 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Let's go.
We got 2 more.
We got 2 more. 16, 17. Yo, 18, come on, you got it. Yeah!
Let's go. 2 more. 2 more.
19.
Round it up.
Yeah, push. Let's go! Oh!
Nice. Hell yeah, brother. Thanks. That went well.
Yeah. Impressive.
You want to try it? Nice. That's it.
Oh.
Yeah, nice.
Oh.
Nice. Still, you got it. Yeah.
Impressive.
We're now 3 minutes away from the highest point. All of this trek, all of the fruits of our labour from today, where we can see Machu Picchu from across the ridge. The whole group is here. Mum is absolutely smashing it. There's 3 parents on this trip, my mother being one of them, and they are all killing it today, which is fantastic to see. So we trudge along this narrow Incan path, the Inca Trail, up to the edge of this mountain. Always, as always, surrounded by mosquitoes and mud and sweating like a dog. Here we go, we're getting close, let's go.
Yeah. What is the guy offering?
That's a worker step. Wow, what a spot. Got a volleyball. Unreal. This is crazy.
Stop it.
So incredible to get that view of Machu Picchu with just our group as the sun is starting to come down, and now we've taken a 20-minute journey to this archaeological site before we set up camp for dinner and for the night with another incredible view.
Thank good.
Whose room is this then? Pretty cool, Mum.
Very cool.
Nice camp.
On the edge of the mountain.
Yeah. Happy with your day?
Very happy.
On an Inca trail? You didn't like that Inca trail on the way up?
2 sleeps.
2 sleeps till what? Machu Picchu? Yeah.
Mojitos, your pisco, your liqueur, right? Your coffee.
Incredible view to start day 4 with, and these were the tents that we all woke up in. Had a fantastic breakfast and birthday cake for breakfast, which was a extremely welcome surprise. And now we've got 2, oh yeah, you can see Machu Picchu here as well. So the viewpoint we were at yesterday was just up on that ridge there, and you can see Machu Picchu still, that bit there. Which is obviously where we're headed to for first thing tomorrow morning. So we are walking down now for about an hour and a half to get to a place called, what's it called? Hydroelectric. That's all right, I was trying to remember, I was like, and it's pretty much all downhill until there. So let's go.
Who killed the dinosaurs? The Ice Age! The Ice Age! So good.
Terrible now, but like storm.
The Ice Age! The Ice Age!
Just throw that out there.
We've reached our first rest stop of the day with 1 hour downhill to go, and apparently Jimmy says there's a well, definitely there's a waterfall because we can hear it.
Yeah.
So, gonna find that now. Oh wow. walking along this train track, which looks almost abandoned, but now we've got the pleasure of seeing a train go past us. We've just heard the horn honk after walking over that bridge with many holes in it, surrounded by that incredible rocky scenery. Let's watch this train go past. That echo is pretty loud. Is that the light from the train? Yeah. Yeah.
Never really get.
Only, the train's loud. Only about half an hour left now, walking along this train track, which used to be an Incan trail, but was obviously it's an efficient way to travel, and that's why the train was built over the top. And you can actually see Machu Picchu over my right shoulder, as close as we've been so far. And obviously that's where we are walking towards now, so that we can see it at first light tomorrow morning before any other tourists get there.
I feel like we should probably wait up for the guide around here.
And finally, we made it into the town of Aguas Calientes after a grueling 20-kilometer day along that train track in the searing heat. But before then, managed to see a load of cool things like that train whizzing past, Machu Picchu from the side, obviously, a load of cool rock formations, and just more chats with the gang on our final day of hardship, because now we are in the hotel room and it is Machu Picchu day finally tomorrow. So we're staying in the town, Aguas Calientes. This is the hotel room, as you can see, and I'm in a weird pose right now. And we will go out for dinner extremely shortly, and then, yeah, a nice dinner in a restaurant, and then we're gonna head up first thing tomorrow morning to get the first bus up to Machu Picchu from here, so we can see it with minimal tourists. It's going to be fantastic. As you've seen, what a fantastic group we've had, and an incredible experience up to this point, and it's only going to get better for the main event tomorrow. So I'm going to head now down to dinner, maybe buy some fresh garms as well in this town, freshen up all the jungle attire, and see you first thing tomorrow morning. A very early 5 AM wake up to get the bus up the hill to Machu Picchu. Now, it may seem counterintuitive to spend 4 days trekking just to take a bus up on the final day, and you're kind of right, but the main reason is the route up to Machu Picchu isn't particularly scenic or interesting, and if you want to be up to see the site before it gets too busy at first opening, then you want to be getting the bus. Now, there are 4 different circuits, 2 of which are upper circuits and 2 are lower circuits at Machu Picchu. So when booking your ticket, you have to go to the pre-designated circuit to see the site. Each one has pros and cons. For example, the upper circuits, you can't access the Royal Palace. And on the lower circuits, you don't get that picture-perfect view with the typical background of Machu Picchu. So bear that in mind. We went on the lower circuit and got to step foot in all the intricate parts of the city, including the palace, and this was the best view, which was right at the start. And our hiking group was actually split up, so we got a funny moment seeing each other halfway through. And Machu Picchu, if you didn't know, was built around 1450 AD for the Incan Emperor Pachacuti. And after the site was abandoned due to the invasion of the Spanish, it was later rediscovered in 1911 by Hiram Bingham. And that's how it became excavated and celebrated as one of the 7 wonders of the world, with thousands of tourists per day now flocking from all over the planet. Most of these tourists, however, have never heard of its sister site, the lost city of Choqquequirao, which was one of the last fortresses of the Incas. It is incredibly beautiful, overlooking a dramatic valley, but has almost 0 tourists. So if you want to hear more about that one, you can check out my video there, which was also with Alpaca Expeditions, and that just came out on my channel before this. Now, when you book your ticket, you also get the chance to climb one of the famous mountains at the back of the complex. Huayna Picchu is the big one, and Huchoy Picchu is the smaller one. We had tickets for Huchoy Picchu, the smaller one, so we made our way through the site, and we finished off by climbing all the way up to the top, our final ascent of the trip. And there is up to 5,000 people per day that come to visit Machu Picchu now, and I didn't realize until arriving this morning that it may get shut down because of the gentle, slow erosion of all of the rocks from this amount of footfall, so that people can still come here but not step on the site. So it's a true privilege to be one of those thousands today and be able to walk where the Quechuas walked 600 years ago. Final bit and final upstairs now for Mum after tens and tens of kilometers traveled and thousands of flights of stairs climbed, and we are almost at the top of this vantage point now. From the top, we could also see the train track bridge, which I climbed up the day before, you may remember, to finish off our amazing day at this wonder of the world, fulfilling Mum's lifelong dream to come here and experience it for herself. So it was then walking back out the site and a very slow train back to Ollantaytambo, and then a bus ride back to Cusco for nightfall. This was then very quickly followed by a flight back to the UK to conclude my 7 months on the road, all the way from Cancun in Mexico through 8 Latin American countries to Cusco in Peru. Now, if you've been following the entire journey of this channel over the last 18 months, then you may be thinking, so what happens now, Adam? You're back in the UK. Well, do not fear, because I've got a pretty significant life update coming to you in the next video. But in the meantime, you've got over 100 videos to watch of all of my insane adventures over the last 18 months, all the way from Asia to Africa to Latin America. And I guarantee there's going to be one crazy one on there that you've not seen yet. So have a flick through, enjoy, and as always, I'll see you very soon on the next adventure.
Oh, you want me to say that?
You have to.
Oh, I have to. Like and subscribe.
No, say it with conviction and look at
Please like and subscribe. Adam Radcliffe at YouTube.